Hi, hello everyone, this is Ravindra Babu. Welcome back to my channel Silver 90s by Unit. By the last video, we successfully completed the machinery and enzymes required for DNA replication. Today, in this part of videos of molecular basis of inheritance, we are going to discuss the detailed mechanism of DNA replication in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. First, let us start with DNA replication in prokaryotes. Here I have divided the mechanism of DNA replication into 4 major steps. Among those, the first one is the formation of a replication bubble. How this replication bubble forms at the initial stages of replication. You know very well the DNA A proteins recognizes origin of replication site on a DNA molecule. Along with the recognition of origin of replication site, they also cleave the hydrogen bonds in the region of origin of replication site, so that which finally leads to formation of a replication bubble having single strands of DNA with the unpaired nucleotides. This is the first step, and the second step is the formation of a replication fork, followed by DNA A proteins. The DNA helicases comes into action, which binds to the replication bubble and unwinds the DNA by cleaving the hydrogen bonds present beyond the replication bubble, thereby the formation of a small opening on DNA molecule. That is what we call replication fork. Actually, the DNA helicases cannot open the 2 strands of DNA helix in its entire length in a single stretch, but they opens the DNA in the form of small openings called a replication fork. Here I have 2 questions regarding the action of helicases during the process of replication. Say this is a double helical DNA. The first question is, instead of opening the DNA helix in the form of small openings or replication forks, why not these helicases separate the 2 strands of DNA in its entire length in a single stretch like this? If it is happen, why not these separated templates of DNA helix involves in continuous replication in 5' to 3' direction individually? The answer is the DNA molecule involving in replication is very long, so that in order to separate these 2 strands of this long length DNA in its entire length in a single stretch requires more energy. Therefore, the replication process occurs in the form of small openings. Those small openings are called replication forks. And the third step in the process of replication is the formation of pre-prime complex. After the action of helicases, the single stranded binding proteins comes into action, which binds to the extended single stranded stretches of a replication fork. The function of these single stranded binding proteins is to provide stability to these extended single stranded stretches of replication fork, and at the same time they also protects these extended single stranded stretches from the action of nucleases. In this situation, the combination of DNA A proteins, DNA B proteins and single stranded binding proteins over the replication fork is considered to be as pre-prime complex. These are the 4 initial steps of a replication process, and a fourth step is the synthesis of DNA. Synthesis of DNA. The synthesis of DNA is a little bit complicated process than this earlier 3 process of replication, where it includes 5 substages on each template of replication fork. So this is a replication fork of DNA going to involve in replication. This is a 5' to 3' end of one template, and this is the template of 3' to 5' polarity. During this replication process, a template of 3' to 5' polarity involves in continuous replication, whereas the template of 5' to 3' polarity involves in discontinuous replication. This additional complexity in this process of replication on both the templates of replication fork is due to the principle of polymerization. Principle of polymerization or the rule of polymerization. What is this principle of polymerization? According to which the polymerization of nucleotides by DNA polymerase must occur in one direction, that is in 5' to 3' direction. Nothing but a DNA polymerase, in order to synthesize a new strand, it must polymerize the nucleotides in a 5' to 3' direction always. The DNA polymerases, they never polymerize the nucleotides in 3' to 5' direction. Now let us see how this principle of polymerization directs the continuous replication on the template of 3' to 5' polarity and discontinuous replication on the template of 5' to 3' polarity. Now let us start with continuous replication on template of 3' to 5' direction. I have already told that the synthesis of DNA occurs in 5 substages on each template of DNA replication fork. Among those, the first step is the formation of primosome. Actually, DNA pol 3 is a master enzyme of a replication process which involves in the synthesis of a large part of DNA, but it is having a starting trouble, that is for initiation of a polymerization, thereby synthesis of a new DNA strand, it requires a free 3' hydroxyl group. The primase is an enzyme which provides this free 3' hydroxyl group for this DNA polymerase 3. How it provides a free 3' hydroxyl group for a DNA polymerase 3? Let us see here. This enzyme primase synthesizes a short segment of RNA molecule in 5' to 3' direction by using the template of 3' to 5' polarity. This short segment of RNA molecule is said to be as a primer. So primer is a short segment of RNA molecule synthesized by this enzyme primase by using the template of 3' to 5' polarity. This primer is having a free 3' hydroxyl group at its 3' end, which is very much required for the initiation of polymerization by DNA polymerase 3. At this situation here, the pre' complex and the primase constitutes a primosome. So primosome is a combination of a pre' complex and a enzyme primase. And the second substage of this fourth step of synthesis of DNA is synthesis of new DNA by DNA polymerase 3. As the enzyme primase has already provided this free 3' hydroxyl group, the DNA polymerase 3, by using this free 3' hydroxyl group, it starts the polymerization of deoxyribonucleotides, thereby synthesis of a new strand of DNA on this template of 3' to 5' polarity continuously along the movement of helicase in replication fork, like this. This is the 5' end of this newly synthesizing DNA strand, and this is the 3' end. And third substage of this process of DNA synthesis is removal of primer. Here the process is the replication of DNA. There must be the DNA only. There must be deoxyribonucleotides in this nucleic acid. But here there is a primer which is RNA in nature, so that this RNA primer has to be removed out from this DNA molecule. Its function is over. For this purpose, the DNA pol 1 comes into action. The DNA pol 1, you know very well that it is having a unique activity, that is 5 prime to 3 prime exonuclease activity, which removes the properly paired and mispaired ribonucleotides and deoxyribonucleotides, one at a time or more than one at a time. Okay, you know very well about that. The DNA pole 1 by its 5 prime to 3 prime exonuclease activity removes this RNA primer in 5 prime to 3 prime direction like this. That is. And the fourth event of this replication is synthesis of new DNA in the place of removed primer. So in the place of this removed primer, there must be a DNA molecule. There must be a segment of DNA. In this situation also, the DNA pole 1 comes into action. Okay, we discussed in the last video, that is DNA pole 1 involves in the synthesis of short segments of DNA. So DNA pole 1 by its 5 prime to 3 prime polymerase activity, it synthesizes a new segment of DNA in the place of primer in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. And the fifth step of this replication of DNA is ligation. Ligation means the binding of the two DNA strands synthesized by DNA pole 1 and DNA pole 3. This is the large segment of DNA being synthesized by DNA polymerase 3, which is continuous. This is a short segment of DNA polymerized by DNA pole 1 by its 5 prime to 3 prime polymerase activity in the place of primer. So these two DNA segments must be attached with each other in order to form a complete newly synthesized DNA strand. For this purpose, the DNA ligases comes into action, which forms a phosphodiester bond between 3 prime hydroxyl group of the short segment of DNA and between the 5 prime hydroxyl group of this long DNA segment. Thereby what happens? The newly synthesized DNA will become a complete DNA molecule like this, which goes on replication further continuously along the movement of helicases on replication fork. In this way, the synthesis of DNA occurs continuously on the template of 3 prime to 5 prime polarity. The newly synthesized complete strand of DNA on this template of 3 prime to 5 prime polarity is called leading strand, because the synthesis of DNA first starts on this template of 3 prime to 5 prime polarity before this template of 5 prime to 3 prime polarity. Hence, this strand is a lead in synthesis. And the synthesis of DNA strand on this template is very fast, so that whatever the newly synthesizing DNA strand on this template is first formed and fastly synthesized, so that we are considering this newly synthesizing strand on this template as a leading strand, and this leading strand is otherwise called continuous strand. Why this is continuous? Once the DNA pole 3 starts the polymerization of deoxyribonucleotides, at this point it never stops its polymerization till the replication process comes to end. And the process of replication on this template of 3 prime to 5 prime polarity occurs always in outside to inside of replication fork. According to the principle of polymerization, the polymerization of deoxyribonucleotides or ribonucleotides must be in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. Because of this principle, on this template of 3 prime to 5 prime polarity, DNA replication occurs from outside to inside of replication fork.